A very happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. Welcome back. Mio Adlan here once again with Hot Issue by ACTnow here, catering to you rather than you nak makan nasi kandar ke, you nak makan cincau fan ke, you nak makan nasi campur ke. But it is me, Mio Adlan, coming to you, serving you, catering to you, whatever it is that's hot, whatever it is that is important, whatever it is that we would like to share with you guys on today's show. We're here every day from Monday to Friday from 12 p.m. onwards. Make sure you guys comment down, give us a like, and share this video because why? We would like to not just inform you guys, having a discussion with you guys, but also open up the discussions to all of them out there for us to be more interactive and more informative. Putting it that way. That is our goal, that is our dream, that is our desire. Itulah harapan kami sebenarnya untuk bersama-sama dengan anda setiap hari dari pukul 12 tengah hari. And of course, I will never do this alone. I would never want to do this alone. I'm always together with my partner in crime who has a lot of things to say all the time. Susah kadang-kadang kita nak bagi dia diam. But yeah, he's actually very good. Mr. Melvin Lam. Hey, Melvin.
I'm actually a very young person.
Yes, you're very diam. You
I
are
only
very
speak, I only speak when I need to speak. And most of the
Yes.
time, I need to speak out.
Exactly, that's why.
Other than that, I'm very dear, I'm very quiet.
Yeah. You know, I mean, like, I think we both work in a way that, you know, yes, we can be super quiet, we can be super, super silent, but when it comes to voice out because of the things that's happening, we like to voice out our concern and our opinions. Correct or not, Melvin?
Yes, the voice of the communities is very important. That is
Mm.
our tagline.
Yeah, exactly. Sengaja pandai dia nak tarik tu kan. Dia suka buat the association with ACTnow. But before we actually move on, Melvin, I just want to ask you, I mean, like, what is up with ACTnow right now? Are there any new updates that you would like to share with us? What's happening on ACTnow's different platform as well in regards of, live
well,
shows or whatever that's happening?
well, we are back in actions. I mean, it's not that we acted a bit late because the government now allow us to work full swings when in phase 4, we're in Klang Valley, we're in phase 4, and we will have to catch up what we have missed out for last 18 months. And of course, we have recently rolled up a few live shows program, which is here at now. We have the Mandarin so-called editions, which is this is our 3rd week. And soon, sometime next month, we'll have our Bahasa Malaysia and English editions for Dear at Now as well. I think it has become more, well received. And not only that, God bless, I think next month also, we have a new program which is called Dr. at Now. It's on medical and fitness programs conducted by Professor Dr. Samsu. And this is also something new for us that address a different aspect of medical and fitness. And we hope everyone's here. Please let us know what are the topics you'd like to discuss. So Professor Dr. Samsu can prepare himself, and he is in medical field. He's attached with HUCAM. He has a lot of experience, and his fellow colleagues as well. So we hope that you all come and support our programs. Soon to come in November. So a lot of exciting things coming.
Yeah, of course. As you just heard just now from Melvin, you know, things are definitely getting back on track. Busy things, a lot of exciting things are happening moving forward down the line because with ACTnow's mantra, hence why the name is ACTnow, is about acting right now, doing it right now. And that's what we from ACTnow would want to do. We want to initiate it right now. We want to do it right now and give to you guys all the best because why? Our point of view may be different than others in regards of how we see things, how we discuss things. It is just a matter of opinion. But what we are going to be doing, and Melvin, correct me if I'm wrong, we are doing it with professionals, may it be Dear ACTnow or Dr. ACTnow. We're not just talking, I bukan doctor, Melvin bukan doctor. We have professionals together with us to talk through all of the topics, correct?
That's right. Like the Dear ACTnow, I'm probably you would know there's a lot of shows outside, but the speaker are not registered counselor. We rather insist our mental so-called psychologists. They are registered, they are qualified, they are licensed to give advices, their views. And of course, on the mental issue and fitness, we want someone from the medical. Not only, of course, Samsu was so happy to be involved with us. He's not just a doctor; he's a professor. He trains and he teaches in KM as well.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So if you guys want to know more about what the heck are we talking about, make sure you guys follow our Facebook page ACTnow, because all of the updates are already there. And if you
Yeah.
guys want to watch previously of what we have done for the Mandarin edition of Dear ACTnow, make sure you guys go and check it out on our Facebook page. It has been going on for, as Melvin has mentioned, about 3 weeks right now, and all of the episodes that were live before are there, so you can rewatch
Yes.
it back.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
you think that it is beneficial, just hit the share button and share it with
Yeah.
your colleagues, share it
Not
with your
only do
family.
it, share it with your fellow friends.
Correct.
It's honestly, it's non-commercial. We,
Mm.
we have this people wrote in about their issues, and we pick them, we address them, and hope that it benefits everyone. Just by listening, you might come across your friends or your families that's also probably have such issues. You know how to advise them. It's very important.
Exactly.
Right.
So do check him out. A lot of, as mentioned, a lot of exciting things will be happening very, very soon. So that is all from Act Now. Okay, enough about promoting
Yeah.
Act Now. Okay, kita dah promote Act Now banyak dah. But we need to serve whatever it is that we always serve on, on a daily basis. Every afternoon we serve people what are the hottest issues right now, what we want to talk about. And the topic that we have in mind today, the topic that we want to
Mm.
bring forward to discuss with you guys is that about humans greed. Ketamakan manusia. Okay, bear with me on this. This
Yes.
is a bit of an intro that I nak cerita. Yes, greed comes in all shapes and sizes, all different types of forms as well. How people like to satisfy their greed, macam mana orang tamak nak sangatkan harta, nak sangatkan wang ringgit, nakkan
Mm.
sangat popularity, so on and so forth. So, we are talking about greed and how this particular version of greed is not just in affecting people around them, but also affecting Mother Earth, dunia kita, Malaysia specifically, because the actions or the practices that has been going on in order to fill up their pockets has resulted in a lot of things, and even some in death. And I'm not kidding you, even sometimes in death about whatever that they have done in the name of greed. And what we're trying to point out this day, is that landslide caused by greed. I punya mukadimah, I punya intro tu panjang dah, Bavin. Cuba you pendekkan sikit what we're trying to talk about over here.
Well, actually, this is a recent report as recent as October 23rd. This was highlighted in the media. A landslide occurred along Jalan Lingkungan Negeri Sembilan and Jalan Limau Purut in Bangsa.
Oh, not in Negeri
After
Sembilan
heavy
lah.
rain. Yeah, last week we experienced a heavy rains in the city, and there was a landslide that affected the residents, and even the authority advised them to move out from the houses.
Okay.
There was something I saw in the paper. There's something like 50 meters wide. The road has collapsed. Was just right in the border of the housing area. So it has a lot of developments in the city. I would say recently has actually brought up not only city, some goes up even to in Penang, that things happens over developments, too high density, port ratio. We call it port ratio, and the residents are actually making a lot of noises. But then sometimes it's not taken into considerations, and things happens. Just to share with you, ACTnow to have a category called development density or plot ratio. When you feel that development around your area has like too high rise, too many units, you can actually use that and report to us. We do have that category, and this morning I was updating also a report. This is apartments called Sri Isora. I believe it's in Penang. They were built. This apartment was built near or next to a river bank. So
Okay.
this user was actually took a report to us and took the evidence that people actually curi tanah, so called to say. They were suspecting why they were so called taking out the sand from the river bank. So of course the user was just called our member was a bit worried because they are just next to the river bank, very very close. From what we see from the visuals that provide, so close.
Yeah.
So it was reported and then was referred to Pejabat Tanah Urulangat. Yes, Pejabat Tanah Urulangat. Yes, they say this land was okay, fine, was approved for temporary license use, but no permissions yet to issue to the applicants. They can actually take out the sand from the river yet.
Yep.
Okay. I do understand from my experience. Sometimes a year or two they have to gorge the river because there's too many sands wash down from uphill to the downstream. So they have to clear up. So they actually give permissions people to clear the river in that aspect. But actually they actually take out the sands and can actually sell for development purpose. But the residents, which is just next to it, is very worried because if it's unguided, not for SOP, because humans are very greedy, they will just dig to the whatever they want, and it might erode the so-called the soil surrounding it. So the high-rise apartments might collapse.
Yep, exactly. And just to I mean, like just to continue back the story of whatever that Melvin has actually mentioned that was happening in Bangsa on October 23rd. It is actually reported that the chairman of Selamatkan Kuala Lumpur, which is a collision of resident associations in Bangsa, headed by Dato Ali, said that landslide was not a surprise actually for those who live in the area because DBKL, they have been neglecting in regards of developments happening around there. Preventive measures have not been done properly. And he personally met DBKL officials earlier in the month, or actually earlier, 1 month earlier, September 18th, to ask for a proper water drainage system at around that area for the road to be better, for the drainage system to be better. DBKL gave an answer, yeah, we'll look into that as soon as we can, but unfortunately, the landslide occurred before DBKL can actually do anything about it. So this is what we're trying to say, that sometimes or other, people in that area knows what's going on. They know what exactly is going on around that area. They want actions to be taken, but unfortunately, the governing body, the municipal council, whoever it is who's taking care of the area, they tend to act quite later than they should. Melvin, lambat bertindak. That's the word I want to
I
share.
can tell you our experience now, because a lot of issues like complaint like potholes and all these things. A lot of authorities, especially at this time, they say their budget has been, the yearly budget has been exhausted. They have to wait for 2022. We have a lot of response on such things, So sometimes things can't wait. I think in June, July, that was a sinkhole, a major sinkhole along Jalan in Bangsa. I mean,
I was about to raise that. Yeah, there was a sinkhole in the middle of Bangsa, near where Bangsa village was.
McDonald's, isn't it? Is it near McDonald's?
Yeah, just at that corner, that simpang empat there where McDonald's is. Yeah.
Yeah. You see, you can't tell us that to wait. Budget has been exhausted. So sometimes
banyak budget nak pakai untuk potong pokok. So nak betulkan tanah tak ada sebab pokok banyak jatuh kot. I don't know where did the budget go.
So sometimes we do face. I mean, we can't say. I mean, ACTnow can't go up and voice out. I mean, we don't manage them, but I think the YDP or Datuk Bandar of the respective majlis should know what is the urgency, how to get the budget from, because we're dealing with human life here. Just imagine, Mio, the house owners along this stretch of road have to have been advised to move out before. If probably they were afraid it will collapse as well if they don't. So the loss incur, the inconvenience incur, that is a lot. Imagine if one of us is stay there, how will we feel?
Scary. That is super scary. I mean, you know what? These kind of stories, this kind of talk, this kind of topic actually brings me back to back to the early 90s where the what the hill what was that building called
Oh yes,
in
in Bukit Antara Bangsa,
no
isn't it?
yeah, in Bukit Antarabangsa, the two big buildings where we
The
had the
condo that
major
collapsed.
incident. Yeah, the both condominiums actually collapsed. It didn't just collapse sideways, it went down first. Why it went down is that because the erosion that was happening under the foundation actually just went through. So the building actually went downwards first, then only collapsed to the side. So it was a reality check for a lot of us because those were the times where a lot of developments were happening by the hillside, a lot of high rise as well. And this building has been in commission for so many years. Never would people imagine that this could
Until
happen.
today,
Yeah.
it's still there because there's not solved yet. Because I think there was 3 blocks left,
Yeah.
2 blocks.
Two went down. Two went down.
Went out. Okay, left one, but still is they can't touch it. They can't go because they still under study. It's not resolved yet.
Yeah.
And I tell you, this happens about 20 years ago or more.
Yep. Back in the early 90s. Yep.
Okay, actually, one of my previous company directors was actually one of the victims there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then one of my I was in advertising at the time. One of the account directors, Charles, was actually was one of the victims there as well too. The parents were working. It was at home with the babysitter and all the whole building, the whole condo collapsed.
Yeah.
Imagine that one actually till now. But this is a good case that other authorities should bring out before these departments that approve so-called density or plot ratio should every day be reminded of such case.
No, because the reason the problem with me in this is that I mean it happens everywhere. Again, we're not just seeing that Malaysians are masters at this. You hear cases this happening everywhere else in Indonesia lah, in Thailand lah, even in Western countries where people are just so easily bought out in regards of just getting that signature. Again, I'm not saying that is happening in Malaysia, but you hear things and bak kata Melayu takkan pokok bergoyang kalau tak ada angin. So, to get this illegal things, getting stamped, getting approved, just by with 20,000 ringgit lah, 30,000 ringgit kind of duit kopi lah under the table, corruption that happens
I do
everywhere
not
in the world.
know. I mean,
These are the kind of things that's very scary.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they're talking about, they will argue cities' land is getting scarce, everyone to stay in the city, they have no choice, but to build high density, they have to have high floors and all these things. But then if the infrastructure does not allow, because infrastructure was not just built now, it was probably years back, does not allow us to have such high rise or high density populated area. We should not, because let's say the drainage is very important. That's why now just a slight rain, heavy rain, you see the city is flooded, fresh floods and all these things because of the drainage systems, so it's not been improved over the years, but the population has gone high.
And the best thing, Melvin, is that floods in KL specifically, when we just want to look into KL, floods in KL are never never, it's a never ending thing, to be honest. We've experienced floods before, flash floods happening in KL all the time. Now, the fact that it's been happening all the time, you would think that people who are in power would already have some sort of idea on how to prevent these things from happening again. Because like time and time again, kalau naik banjir dekat Bangsa ke, naik banjir dekat Jalan Kuching ke, naik banjir dekat Jalan Tun Razak ke, they would think that, oh, sebab ada construction kat situ, so banjir.
It's
Don't
always
they
that
actually know whatever that has happened before will happen again if matters don't be taken seriously?
I'll tell you what, because those people who work there are not so-called. If it happens in their own house, probably they feel the pinch.
Itulah sebab tak jadi kat dia, Marvin. It's not happening to them directly. That's why they don't care.
Yeah, otherwise they say, yeah, the excuse is just developments there, they caught up the drains, this and this, and it's an excuse. But then it's very unfortunate that to not take it. I would say take it personally.
Yeah.
If we take it personally, probably different. That's why ACTnow is very different. Everyone's in my colleagues, I will tell them, everyone who actually highlights issue to us, to our apps, actually has been probably been very stressed. So we had to take it as those every single complaint that comes in as if it's our own.
Yep.
If we
And
take it
and
our
to
own,
think,
then we will know how what's called reactions,
yeah.
how fast we want it to be solved.
And the thing about landslide is when we talk about erosion, when we talk about landslide, bila
Yeah.
kita cerita pasal tanah runtuh, this is not a thing that can just happen overnight. It takes months, it takes years for
Yes.
this mishap to happen. So contohnya, favorite place, obviously, we keep coming back to this, Bukit Antarabangsa. How
Oh, yeah.
many times have we heard in the news for the past 30 years landslides happening in that area, tanah runtuh happening in that area? It is
Yeah.
because of the development that has been happening previously. These people they didn't take matters seriously. They didn't take proper precaution. Dia orang cuma nak make sure, okay, I'm getting my millions. Aku buat rumah dekat atas bukit ni, cantik. You can see all KL, hoo-ha, cantik, whatnot. But 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, we are getting the effects. Now, imagine, Melvin, right now, we don't care about what happens to Mother Earth. We do development on a hillside in Bangsa. My daughter and her children would face that problem down the line in 20, 30 years time, Melvin. That's the
Yes,
scary
yes.
thing.
I mean, those are we call it. That's why the topic today we call it greedy. Landslide caused by greed.
Mm.
So well, we have to continue voicing our this issue. I know that. I mean, everyone's on the matter. Please share your voice, even though you don't live around these areas.
Yeah.
Because you don't want this also happen to your area as well. To your neighborhood as well. We cannot be selfish. We have to help each other. We will have to voice together. Just make us stronger. So it's, as I say, it's not only in Bangsa that's been highlighted. On last month, September 4th, same thing in Penang Island, Tanjung Punga. Some 400 residents actually raised their concerns over two landslides that occur in the area.
Yep.
So they believe illegal channeling of water runoff from the biking path onto the hill slope could be the immediate cause of the landslides. So Tanjung Punga, I say, is also an area you find at least once in a year they have landslide.
Yeah.
So, and Tanjung Bunga is very highly populated. A lot of people stays there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but this has been yearly annual event.
Yeah, no, I mean, like it is so funny. We are laughing at this fact, but it is actually not a laughing matter. Why we're laughing is the irony of it. People know
Yes.
that this thing happens all the time, and yet people tend to neglect the effects of it, the repercussions of these landslide happening. And contohnya, happening dekat Gunung Jerai excavation that happened earlier in the year, March 22nd to be exact, where people were doing a lot of excavation activity on top
Yeah.
of Gunung Jerai, and it has resulted to a lot of landslide happening because diorang buat excavation tu tak ada permit, tak ada lesen, sebab dia nakkan duit. They wanted the money to pay for
Yes,
that
I think
vacation going to London. Dia nak pakai bag LV. Geram aku dah.
so. It's very simple. This has been done without proper license, no permits. It was allowed. It was carried on. This was not carried on just overnight. Probably over a period of time. Where is the enforcement? And there was and it was our then this natural resource minister say that they categorized that landslide at Kedah Gunung Jerai as act of God. When people is the culprits, yes, people is the culprits. They don't have license to do it. No enforcement step in, it happens, and you say it's an act of God. Do
Are they
not use
claiming
the
that
name of
God
God
told
to
them to start the excavation of the area? I think God told them specifically, you better excavate this area now. Hence why they actually did it, and hence why it's act of God. Aduh, pening.
So please, it's act of humans,
Mm.
right? Act of humans great. Do not bring God. Bring God protects us. You know. So this is the things that we're so sad that we live in situations that I mean, if things are licensed, studies, a lot of so-called plans has put in, proper SOP has been taken, fine. But those illegal one, please take not just a fine, put them in life imprisonments.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't take the life lah, because we also have for human rights. Put them in life. We talk about human rights too. Put them in life imprisonment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these kind of people again. Sometimes they think that they are, invincible. They are bulletproof. They can get away with stuff because of the connection that they have. Because saya kenal Datuk ni, saya kenal Tan Sri ni. Oh, PM kawan saya. Oh, Menteri Kewangan adalah geng kawan saya. These are the kind of things that people like to flaunt more often or not, and
Yes,
that's why the benefit comes in.
this guy is still on the run. A young guy, Datuk Sri Nick. When this came out, he's now still on the run.
Yeah.
And then the media show he took pictures of all the prime ministers, all the big men, and all these things.
So,
I mean, what is it?
It's yeah. I mean, like money obviously in some sort of way it does buy you power. We're not denying that. At least I'm not denying that. Money does buy you power. But with great power, bak kata Spider-Man, comes great responsibility. You need to be very responsible in all of the things that you do. If you're just busy about making that, milking that cash cow as much as you can without having a concern of anyone else, then that is just wrong,
I
because
think
it will slap you back in the face. Kalau tak jadi dekat you, jadi kat orang lain, to the ones that you love, then only you realize. Itulah Melvin, masalahnya sebab tak jadi kat dia. Macam kita cakap tadi, it's not happening to them directly. If it happens to his house, rumah besar gila dekat Bukit Tungku contohnya, sekali jatuh because of landslide, you think he would not make a big ruckus?
I tell you, I mean, I like to be rich, and you also like to be rich.
Of course.
I tell myself, if I have to reach a certain level, because I can't bring it to the next life.
Yeah.
Can you bring that to the next life? The most you do is have those big ceremony or mega funeral processions and all those things. The most you can do is have your casket made in 20x24 solid gold. You can't. That's about all.
Yeah.
You can't rent the next life. So why not you do something that people cherish and remembers you for good?
Yeah.
So I think that great things we should have. We hope. I mean, I love to be making money, but I tell myself, when I have something that's good, I feel comfortable, I should do for the society. Whatever we do, we think about the communities. We're not going to squeeze blood up from so-called from them. We shouldn't do that. So talking back to the area of, landslides in this now just I recall, even in Cheras, this is in October 17, early part of this month. Taman Supreme folks fear new development will bring more land erosions. I went up to this place years back. I saw the pictures that provided by the paper. It's 2 row of shop houses facing the greens, the trees, and it's in Cheras. But yet, you don't. When you drove up there, you feel like you're in different part of the world. The air there is so clean, cool. Then you see monkeys, monitor lizards, opposites. That's where they have crossed the line. That's where they live, and that's where humans live. So you are actually now a lot of developers want to do that. They want to do high-rise condos on the hill slopes, and that is where the residents early this month actually voiced it out as well. I hope the authorities also pay attention. Bangsa happened because Bangsa is a rich area. This Cheras is probably less rich area, but please bear in mind, they are also human beings. We are alive. The life of concerns,
Yeah. I mean, like, regardless of wherever it happens, like, it could happen just beside KLCC, or it could happen in arau perlis up there. You know, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's we're talking about people's lives here, and the fact that we know that landslide issues are happening almost every single year, almost all the time. We are sort of like preempted already. So rather than being reactive, can action after the thing has done. Why don't we do the proactive
Proactive.
bit and prevent? Macam kita sakit mula. Prevention is better than cure. Kalau you sakit nak
Yeah.
pergi doktor lagi mahal sebenarnya daripada you prevent yourself from going to the doctor in the first place. So it's all about common sense. Again, I advise yang tak common dah. It's all about common sense. Fikir balik common sense and do not act so much on the greed. You know about profit. Everyone wants to make a profit, but think about the repercussions. Think about the things that can happen because
I would love to do something. I mean, a campaign or propaganda that do not support those high-rise projects, please.
Tapi you duduk dalam apartment yang high rise juga, Marvin. So I tak tahu
No,
macam
mine is only 12 floors only.
anything above 3 floors is already high rise, ma. What are you talking about?
No, my office is on 32nd floor, but open
there
seat
you
is 48th floor. So why I'm worried that the open seat will collapse on me.
Let's hope that does not happen anywhere in Malaysia for that matter. Let's hope that let's hope that things will definitely get better and jangan tamak sangat manusia. Okay,
Yes,
that
yes,
marks
yes.
the end of the topic. Wow, cerita pasal landslide saja boleh cerita satu hari ya. Sebenarnya very interesting stuff. But definitely tomorrow we have a lot more interesting topics that we want to bring to you guys. So
Definitely.
it's together with me and Melvin again tomorrow.
All right,
now,
I'll see you tomorrow. So
see
have
ya.
a good day.
You too. Ciao. Bye.
Ciao. Bye.
Alright then. Wow. Ini baru cerita pasal tanah runtuh, belum cerita pasal hati runtuh ke, otak runtuh ke dan sebagainya. There you go, guys. We have always a lot of things to say whenever we're on this show for Hot Issue. Because why? We do want to share with you guys. We do want to, get your opinions on whatever that's happening for our own benefit. Yo, Adam here signing out. See you again tomorrow, same time, same place. You take care now. Happy lunching. Bye.